How many times do you think you can get punched in the face and still keep going? You know, as a coach, I really think there are no limits. But when it happened to me, I started doubting. And I thought, I probably have a breaking point. Over the span of 8 years, I got divorced. I lost $75,000 in business. I got COVID 3 times. I moved from state to state because I was trying to find my base, my home. The big one, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 33 with absolutely no history of type 1 diabetes in my family. I lost my vision, and I had an absolutely painful recovery for 1 year that put me into the financial hole that I thought I would never get out. And here I am. I'm still standing, I'm still building, I'm thriving, and I'm growing. So if you are in that era of your life where you're getting punched in the face again and again and again, then this video is for you. Because you know what? Sharing is caring. And I want to share with you my story and what I did and what helped me to not give up on myself. And most importantly, not to give up on my dream. Because I'm not just doing something to survive, I'm building my dream life. And I'm super confident in every step I take. But it wasn't like this all the time. I lost my confidence. I lost my self-worth. I lost the sense of who I am and what I want. And that I'm actually capable of love and happiness and joy. But I guess I proved myself wrong. So let's start with the divorce. Of course, when you're getting married, you're not thinking about the divorce. And that was me. As a Slavic woman, I grew up listening things like, follow your husband, don't say anything against him because he knows better. And I was thinking that I was the problem in my marriage. So when we got to the point where we couldn't stay together anymore, my heart was broken. You know how it feels when someone who you thought loved you and were closest to you was literally screaming, I want you to die, you're worthless, you are crazy, and you are not up to intimate connections as much. And you know what? I actually started to believe that thing. But I'm not here to trash my ex-husband. That's not the point. The point is that during that time, I remember laying in my bed. There's a hole in my chest. I don't feel my heart anymore. And my cat was laying on me, on top of me. And I couldn't shake her because she just felt that I need that love back then. And honestly, I thought my life is over. I thought that I'm worthless as a woman, that I couldn't save my marriage. And my ex-husband was right. I started listing all of the things I've done wrong and convinced myself that I'm not lovable. And I made a decision that I don't want to date anymore. I don't want love. I'm going to close my heart, and that's it. But what it taught me in the end that, hey, it's painful at that moment. Yes, it's heartbreaking, but life goes on. And you decide if you want to stand up and continue building yourself up, or you just gonna stay where you at, cry about it, and think that someone will come and save you, because that's not gonna happen. I needed something to start relying on at that moment. And I decided that I'm gonna compete in one of the most prestigious competitions in America, Arnold Classic. Because, you know, my ex-husband didn't really support me. He never showed up in my competitions. And I was watching girls getting flowers and having their partners there to support. And it wasn't my case. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to prove, I don't know, maybe back then it was to him, but also that I am capable of doing that. That I can follow my dream. And honestly, at that moment where I was very close to just indulging in alcohol because it was so painful, I'm just going to go and be addicted to fitness. And I was already coaching clients, so why not? I started prepping. I started taking my life back. I stopped crying finally, and I took responsibility for one choice in my life, for staying in relationships that didn't feel right in the very, very beginning. So here I am rebuilding, and I wish I could say that I didn't hear from my ex-husband anymore, but we engaged in a business together where in the very beginning I told him this is a bad idea because we're both trainers and we are partnering up with people who already have millions saved. So if something, we're just gonna give up all our income to this business. And he said, you're crazy, you don't see the bigger picture. And I followed again. So we're in this business, I'm seeing him every day. And one day he says, sorry, I don't have money to invest anymore. Well, I thought I'm gonna try and make it right. I asked my partners, they said, that's your problem. Sorry, we warned you. So I had to invest in my share and in his share on top of it. I was busting my ass off in 2 jobs, literally almost no sleep in New York and prepping for Arnold Classic on top of it. I was waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning, going for a run, doing my cardio, coming back, meal prep, going to my business because I was working partner, staying there, doing marketing, doing administrative work, being an accountant, depositing and all of those stuff, coming back, training my clients and going to a bar job. Honestly, I felt miserable, but at least something was moving. Then on top of it, my friend asked me to help him with the car. He's like, hey, Julia, I want to lease this car, but they're not going to give it to me because I don't have really paperwork. And I really felt that this is wrong. But then he manipulated me saying, well, I helped you when you were divorcing and you were separating with your ex-husband and you rented like my room in my apartment. So I did help you. Why couldn't you right now? And I thought, well, okay, you know what? He's my friend. What's going to happen? 3 months later, I receive a letter saying, your car will be dispositioned because you stopped paying for the car. Another letter in my mailbox. Hey, by the way, your license will be suspended because of lapse of insurance. And I'm standing with these 2 letters, still hustling, doing all the stuff. And I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? I called my friend. He's like, this is all BS. Don't worry. I'll take care of it. You're fine. This is not true. And I'm like, what do you mean not true? I'm literally holding these 2 letters in my hands. This says one thing. This is another thing. All of those things are terrifying. Please bring me back this car because I'm going to return it and I'm going to try to figure out the license situation. So what happened, apparently, he stopped paying for his insurance, which also my damn ass at that moment, I love myself, allowed him to join my insurance company and my insurance account. So he stopped paying for insurance and for the car. And here I am, they saying you need to pay $6,000. We don't take the car back. I was like, where the hell am I going to take this $6,000 right now? I'm paying and still depositing to my business. By the way, prime location, Soho, new business, $60,000 just in rent. No income coming back because it's a new business. So I was already depositing for me and my ex-husband around 5 to 6K per month. Plus I had my car, my living and my expenses. I tried calling him back. He didn't answer. I tried calling the police and they said, well, sorry, we're not going to take this case because it seems like you gave him this car willingly. And I said, yes, but now he's not giving it back. So, which probably is stealing for my understanding. But they said, you can try calling the police, but most likely the officer won't take it because he will consider it as a family matter. So here I am. I had to figure this out, and I did. I took back this car. Literally, my heart was pounding when I had 2 of my friends helping me with other police officers taking this car, and my friend was screaming that he's gonna kill me. Apparently, a lot of people wanted to kill me back then. So I took this car. I gave it back. I had to pay $6,000, and that taught me a lot. That taught me that, hey, don't be stupid and trusting everyone or anyone at that matter with something as important as this. And you know what? It's not that I was stupid. It's just I probably didn't have enough boundaries back then. And I was kind to the point where it was just blinding me, blinding the, hey, no, this is taboo. I don't do these things, right? But this is not the end. So after all of this, I decided that I don't really need and want this business because this wasn't my dream. I came to my partners and I laid it out and I said, hey, this is not what I want in life and I don't want to be in here anymore. They said, fine, but we can't really cover every expense, but we're going to pay you back somehow. So I invested $75,000 in my business. And again, I trusted my partners. I didn't want to deal with lawyers at that moment. And they said they're going to pay me back K, which I was like, better than nothing. So a couple years later, as you can guess, nothing came into my account. I also had to hire a lawyer afterwards because they were accusing me and something was not right in the business. And of course, as I asked them, do we need to sign any papers? They said, no, we're going to take care of it. Again, trusted, but should have done that. I'm in the middle of $75,000 in debt. And that money wasn't just money for me to go and shop. It was literally money for my life and surviving. Now, I'm at this moment approximately already 6 years in the country because I moved in 2011. This was all what I had. And now I had nothing. I'm living in the state I don't want to live in. I'm working my ass off for, I didn't even understand for what. So I decided that I have to change the environment because what was happening back then, all the gossips, it was just so overwhelmingly a lot for me to take in and digest and deal with this, that when COVID started, I decided I have to move. I was already in a relationship back then with a person who I said, hey, let's not have any relationships. Let's just have fun. 5 years later, I moved to South Carolina. I needed the reconnection with myself. And even though I experienced a lot of relief when I moved, I also experienced a lot of emptiness because everything I was building in New York for 7 years is gone. I don't feel like I want to be fitness coach anymore or nutritionist. I burned out. I feel down, I feel broken, and at least I had my relationships, right? Back then, at least I had my person. It wasn't rainbows and butterflies all the time, but I felt supported until I didn't. I finally came to a realization after 5 years that we're not in alignment with this person. We're not going to the same direction. And more importantly, I felt like I'm setting myself for failure by staying with him. Don't want to go into any details there. Topic for another video. But what I want to say is that I felt that I am not living in my full potential. And it was so painful because I knew I have to leave. And boy, oh boy, that was very bad. If you've ever been in love for so long and you've built all this illusions and castles that everything gonna be okay with you and the partner and you're gonna have kids and family and happy ending. Well, that wasn't my case. It was so painful that I did, psychedelic retreats because I thought I couldn't rewrite my subconscious. I wanted to just cut that bond off. And South Carolina felt like a good vacation time, but I had to move on. So I decided to move to Los Angeles. Was miserable there, not gonna lie. Sorry, people who live and love Los Angeles. I love it. Beautiful nature, but it didn't feel loving, didn't feel like community, didn't feel like I found my place. And I was miserable there, driving, crazy traffic, crazy prices. So there was one state in mind and one specific town where I felt I'm gonna feel like home, and I moved to Austin. So if you're asking yourself right now, how can I move state to state so easily? I'm gonna tell you, because there was one thing that I've learned in my life, that I'm not a tree. And if I don't like this place, I don't have to stay. No matter how much I build there, if there's something off and I'm consistently feeling it, not for months, not for a week, I'm talking years, maybe you should try it. Maybe you should just give it a shot. This is exactly how I felt back in Belarus. And I moved in the United States with absolutely no connections, no friends, no language in 2011 at 20 years old, because I knew that I'm going to regret if I stay. That's exactly the advice I'm giving myself all the time if I'm doubting something. If I have fear and I have curiosity, I'm asking, would you regret this in the end of your life? And the answer almost always is yes. Moving to Austin, here we go. Beautiful, beautiful place. I felt like home. I felt like finally I can start rebuilding myself again from zero. I moved here with $2,000 in my pocket, a car, and a dog. That's it. I had nothing in my possessions. I had no place. My friends rented me their room upstairs, and that's where I started. And I was really hustling in the beginning. I had to go out, and during the time of separation with my ex-boyfriend and moving state to state, you don't really enhance your social skills. And especially during pandemic, when you stay home, I felt like if I go out and I talk to people, I'm gonna die. That's exactly how my body felt. But I knew that if I stay, I'm gonna die too, so I'd rather try. And I did. And it did feel uncomfortable. It did feel like I'm not only coming out of my comfort zone, but I'm literally changing my skin right now. And it's painful because it wasn't time to change it. I started making connections. I started seeing people and meeting new friends. And literally not even a year after, I already had clients. I started doing my fitness again because it was easier at that moment. And I started dating again. I opened up my heart. I really thought that I would never love again, but life again proved me wrong. And what happened next, it was absolutely something that I could never expect. I'm a fitness coach. I'm a healthy person. I don't eat out. I don't eat trashy food. I cook all the time. I'm very active. I'm dancing. I'm going to the gym. And what happened, it just shocked me. I went back to Belarus to visit my family and just a regular medical checkup because everything is very cheap there, by the way. So my doctor calls me on Sunday and saying, hey, you better pack your things and go straight to the emergency room. And I was like, what? I mean, I felt off for a long time. I lost a lot of weight, but I thought it's just another stress. And she said, your A1C level, which is the accumulated sugar level in your blood for, I believe, 3 months, is super high. And I thought, well, I'm not gonna die. So I'm just gonna go tomorrow. And we came to the hospital and they said you have type 1 diabetes. Your A1C is so high that you were very close to diabetic coma. And I was like, how bad is diabetic coma? Is it that bad? The doctor literally, her jaw dropped. She's like, coma, Julia, some people die. There are some people who can come back. And at that moment in my life, it was the first time, and hopefully the last time, when I felt like I am dead. I felt so close to dying, like in reality, not in any practices, in reality, that I started thinking, what am I doing with my life? It's definitely not an overnight thing. It was building up and accumulating. So I had this time in the hospital, sitting on my bed, fighting the sugar because no matter what we did, it didn't want to drop down. And when it's finally started going down, I felt like I'm dying because the hyperglycemia kicked in, even though my sugar was still high. I was meditating and I was thinking that I probably should change certain things in my life because that's not what I want. That's not what I came here for. I came back to United States with the contract for myself. I'm gonna start living. I'm gonna start building my life according to my dreams, according to what I want. And nothing in this life will shake me off my balance. I gave myself this promise. Despite the fact that I lost my vision on top of it during diabetes, thank God it came back, I was very, very, very sure that this is my last shot. That's the answer about how many times you can get up after punches. I thought, what if I treat this one as my last one? And here I am, ready to get back and rebuild my life. All of a sudden, I get this pain in my stomach, excruciating pain, and I could not move out of my couch. I was sitting in the fetus position, and if I moved, the pain was so bad, felt like a lot of knives just stabbed me in my stomach and they just rotating inside. I went to the hospital. Doctor said, "You're fine. The blood work looks good. There's nothing wrong with you." And I'm like, well, why the hell then I am in pain? They couldn't tell me. It took me 1 year to recover. That situation put me in a financial hole that I thought I would never be able to climb out of. And again, back to my thinking, am I a loser? Am I really that bad? I thought I got it. I thought the planets are kind of rearranging finally for me. And get it, girl. But I knew one thing, because I already had this. I already had the financial downfall. I already had the breakup. I already had all of the bad things in my life. So this time is no different. This time, I'm gonna do it my way. Not because I'm afraid of judgment, not because I think that this is the way that we all should follow because of the society or my parents or whatever else, whoever else was telling me to do the opposite. I said, no, I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it wisely this time. So I had to drop my ego below anything, which I literally thought I didn't have at that moment, and go find a regular job. But not a regular job. I decided, well, if I'm gonna suffer, let me suffer with something that I love. So I found the managerial job in a franchise that started, and I started teaching kids dancing. I'm a professional dancer. So that was a joy. And then I started building that business back up from the ground. And I took another fitness job. So here I go, step by step by step by step, I was coming back. And I promised myself that this is temporary. I'm not gonna stay there. I'm gonna start my YouTube channel again. I'm gonna start my coaching business, and I'm gonna start doing another business that I was afraid to admit I was interested in. And here I am, not long time from all of those things happen. 2023, when I was diagnosed with diabetes. 2024, technically, when I spent almost entire year in pain with no financial income, stability, no clients, no ideas, and no desire. And I'm back. Not only I'm back, I'm flying. Of course, I don't want to tell you that this happened overnight. Of course, I don't want to tell you that I was like, yeah, let's go. Rainbows and butterflies. Ooh, I'm fired up. But of course, it took years for me to coach myself, to reinvent myself, to start to see the limiting beliefs that I had, applying all the coaching tools I've learned that I've done for my clients, and reteach my brain to never freaking give up and to see that everything that happens is for me and nothing else matters, but you keep going because you're doing now what you actually want to do in your life, what you are here for. And if that's gonna change, freaking perfect, then you're gonna follow that passion. And I can tell you, but I started my investing portfolio this month actually, which was also terrifying for me. I started dating again. I have 2 businesses. I have beautiful course that I'm teaching. I have clients, I have community, I have my hobby, I have everything. And it wasn't a gift from someone. It was a gift for me, from myself, with the help of the universe and God. And I believe in it 100%. So my love, if you in that position right now, where you feel like you are tired from getting punches from left to right, I want to tell you these 3 things. First, no matter what happens, don't ever let doubt to creep in and to take you into the hole of, I'm not worthy of a happy life. Because this is not true. This is fear speaking. This is generations of limiting beliefs speaking. Society, you are not that person. Always believe that no matter what happens, you can find the way out. And better off, find a support. I had mentors, I had therapists, I had my friends, I had a coach. Because even though with all my knowledge and all my ability to lift others and to help them, I needed that help from outside. It's very hard to do it on your own. Second thing, look back and see what exactly those punches are teaching you and set it as the rule that you will never break anymore. If the punch taught you that the person you were with was an illusion, you saw him this way. You wanted him to be this way. But in reality, he never was. He didn't respect you. He didn't want the same thing that you wanted. Then the lesson is, give it to yourself first. Respect yourself first. Love yourself first, so you are not accepting any other treatments than that. I guarantee you, you will see other people around you and other men around you with different values. And number 3, take actions. Take actions if you don't even know what kind of actions you should take. But don't stop. They don't have to be perfect. You don't have to figure this thing out right now. But what you do need to do is to show your brain that you are still moving, one little step at the time, and celebrate those little steps. When I found 9-to-5 job, my first initial thought was, wow, from a coach to a 9-to-5 jobber. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying for me, right? That's how I felt about myself. But then I said, hey, this is a win, because now at least we are seeing the increase in our bank account, not decrease. This is win. This is not forever, and this is for the time being. And if you need to feel a specific way for some time, set this time for yourself. Give yourself a week. Give yourself 3 days and feel it. Don't push it. Name it. I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm everything right now, and let it in. Suck in it and stay there for as long as you need, not longer than a week, please. And set the first step. Reach out to your friend. Reach out to groups. Start looking online. What do you need? Where you need to go? Set those first steps. They are important. Continue building, because first step will give you second step, will give you people maybe, will give you connections, will give you ideas. And standing where you are, not gonna give you anything. So my love, this is my story about how many times you could get those punches in your face and still keep going. I left out a lot of details. I didn't want to bore you in this video. But I hope this was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And share this video if you feel like it's gonna help someone. Because again, sharing is caring, right? And I also have a lot of helpful links below, from free workshops to other shorter videos that really, I believe, will help you too. And if you need help, if you need support, you can DM me on my Instagram account. Again, links in the description below. Or you can schedule a free discovery call and we can chat and start from there. That might be your first step. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining, and until the next time.